Time to close out this season. Hey everyone, welcome to Princess of Gay. I'm your host Connie, and today we are here with episodes 12 and 13 of Lucifer. This is going to close out season 1, and as I stated before, as like with pretty much everything we react to, we're not moving straight into season 2. We are taking a break, and it's probably going to be a notable enough break just because of the kind of show this is. It's not something I can just like rush through. It's something I need to take my time on. But on top of that, since we are cutting down the schedule a little bit, this is also to make room for that. So keep that in mind as well. That once this ends, we're not replacing it with anything. But again, I'll talk more about that in the afterthoughts. Let's focus here. So Lucifer has been targeted by his brother. He managed to stave off the assassin. I can't think of his name right now. the guy, the cop who Amenadiel brought back, basically. And so yeah, things are going pretty crazy. On top of that, the relationship between Chloe and Dan is on really rocky ice right now because of what had happened with, again, the corrupt cop. That's got to be closed out in these final episodes, because that just, I mean, he's already off of Lucifer's tail at the moment, which Amenadude is not going to be super happy about. But we've got to close that out. We've got to close that plot point out, right? I feel like that's the big thing, like, still focused on here. I also still feel like Dan being there and being the one to shoot him, that has to be revealed to Chloe here in this finale. It would just be weird at this point not to reveal it. Everything's got to kind of come to a head here. And with Lucifer's impending mortality, and finding that it's at least possibly connected to being around Chloe, I'm very curious as to where this season's going to end. What they're going to do in order to give us, like, you know, a pretty noteworthy finale. It doesn't have to be anything, like, spectacular. It doesn't have to be, like, the biggest, best finale ever. It's only season 1. But I'm definitely hoping for something pretty big and, again, notable. Something that's going to really get exciting. Now, we are doing both of these episodes back to back. We are doing them off of Netflix, as we've been doing, because finding this series, for some reason, this series is hard to find to download like everything else. It's just like none of I can't find it to get it downloaded to make it easier. So as always, if there's any like lag or issues with the video, I apologize. It's just it's something that I can't really help. That's going to happen when I'm recording it off of the browser, basically. If we could get through it pretty much unscathed, that would be honestly amazing, but I don't see it happening. Excuse me. But yeah, so we've got quite a bit to get through here. As you can see, I'm still kind of waking up, which is kind of sad, but, you know, it's me. And we should probably just get into this. So, let us just go over once again the schedule. Every Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of great shows for you to check out. On Mondays, we also do YouTube reactions, which are mainly just donation rewards that subscribers and viewers like you have sent in. Really fun, anyways, a great time. Every Saturday and Sunday, we do movie reactions. Those are pretty fun as well. And they are also almost always donation rewards, though sometimes I'll sneak a little something in. I also record them earlier in the week, but they're uploaded on the weekend just so every day has something going on. We are also currently doing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. And although we've been having some audio issues, both with sync and, echo effects and stuff, I'm trying to get that figured out. I'm trying to get that fixed. But we're still having fun. The game is still great. I'm bad at combat, but that makes it kind of fun to watch. Hopefully you're having fun watching. That being said, let's get into it. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction Follow the link to the reaction because, yes, we do redirect all of our reactions on this channel. The reason is just because of YouTube's copyright system. It's YouTube. So just to stay safe, to avoid any possible strikes, to keep things on the channel all nice and howdy-doody, we got to just play the safe route. Might not be fun, but on the upper hand, when you go down to the description below and click on that link, no matter who you are, you get to see the full reaction for free. That's right, everyone gets to see it for free. No paywalls, no Patreon, not even having to sync up with your own copy. You get to see the full reaction for free, every time. And I think that's pretty neat, honestly. And after you watch it, you can come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black, but then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will not only contain spoilers to the episodes, but also just my general thoughts on how this season ends. So, all of that being said, once again, and as always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we'll begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. So before anything, let's talk about that ending. Their mom escaped from hell. The only name I could think of would be Lilith, but that doesn't make sense. Let's go over the apocryphal tale there, right? So the story is that Lilith was the first woman created. It was Adam and Lilith. And that, Lilith wasn't quite falling into line. This is kind of gone through in Has Been Hotel as well. So Adam and Lilith were made equally. They were both made from the dirt of the earth. But after Lilith kind of I guess you could say, abandoned her post, God instead took a rib bone from Adam and created Eve. But Lilith, if that is who we're talking about, wouldn't be Lucifer and Amenadiel's mom. Lucifer and Amenadiel would not have a mom. Because they're angels who were just brought into being by God. They don't have a mom. Even if they wanted to consider Lilith in that kind of position just because, the first woman made, but it's that still doesn't really make a lot of sense. I have no clue. Because again, that's not how that works. It's not like God and some woman had sex and that's how the angels are. No. That's not how it works. They just spawned into existence. Unless this series completely changes the lore, like entirely. Now, I know Supernatural had, like, other primordial beings besides God. There was, like, the darkness and whatnot as well, who's basically, like, God's sister, I believe. But I feel like that's going to be a completely separate thing. I don't feel like this series is going to go into that. The lore based around all of this seems to be, standard biblical lore. So I have no clue. I just do not know where this is going at all. Obviously this was used as like this big cliffhanger thing to end the season on. I understand that, but I just like trying to think of what that actually means. I don't know. I don't know. If I'm being completely honest here. I guess we'll eventually find out. Um, but in the meantime, let's talk about the rest of this. So, yeah, these two episodes kind of acted as a finale together, with Lucifer being framed for murder. It started with this entire cult thing, and then kind of spread into, the street preacher and everything, who we had seen like previously in the season and all. And it was like kind of this whole like elongated story of Lucifer getting framed and then, being proven innocent and dealing with Malcolm, which we knew the Malcolm thing was going to be where this season ended. That was pretty obvious. And we got to see a lot of really interesting stuff through this too, like Lucifer and Amenadiel kind of like, bonding and working together and everything. We get to see Maze and Amenadiel's relationship in its good and bad, and see that they do genuinely love each other, that there is something really there. And just a lot more of that kind of stuff. I'm just I just don't know where this is heading right now. But I liked seeing how peeved Lucifer got, like, progressively through these episodes. Not only from the entire thing with the cult, the satanic cult, run by a guy who didn't even want to be there anymore, but with just losing faith in even Chloe and everyone else, and just feeling like everyone is out to get him. Just kind of becoming more paranoid and angry, and things not going very well for him. To the point where he's like, attacking the street preacher on the streets. Yeah, it's just a lot to deal with on his end. We still don't have any like strong confirmation for our human characters about Lucifer actually being the devil and everything. And I feel like there was so many chances in these episodes, because with Lucifer and Amenadiel working together, like, they could have easily proven that they were angels and, Lucifer is the devil. Like, he's kind of avoided, like, really proving it and everything, even though some of the things he's done, it's like, how else would you describe that? How else would you explain it all? But he's really avoided, like, truly showing that he is the devil to Chloe. And as the season has gone on, he's become, he's becoming more mortal the more he's around her. So he's kind of losing his chance to really prove it. But also, even with that, Amenadiel doesn't have that problem. Dude could just spread his wings or freeze time for everyone except her. It's like she'd have no way to argue. It would be proven. You got to kind of wonder, is there just a specific reason he doesn't want her to actually know? Because he's so open about it. He's so, like, just in your face about it. He doesn't hide it at all. But is there some reason that he doesn't want to actually prove it? That's the only thing I'm wondering at this point, because it's like he's had so many chances. And same goes for the therapist. Like, they're in there, like, he's with Amenadiel, and like, Amenadu's about to just straight up say, it's like, oh, actually, we are angels and everything, and Lucifer stops him. He's like, you don't want to go down that kind of road. It's like, you could prove it. Like, I don't understand why this is such a big issue for you to keep hidden if you're so open about it in the first place. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I feel like this needs to be revealed sooner rather than later. It's not something they can keep secret forever, because it's not something that would work kept secret forever. The idea of having Chloe just, not believing him and thinking it's just like some kind of role-playing thing. Like, if you do that for too long, it's going to get really old. And I've had this problem before. Does anybody remember my Little Witch Academia reactions? I think that might have been on the old channel before it was terminated. I don't think that was on this channel. But either way, for those who may not have been there, I'm going to get into like some spoilers if you haven't seen the Little Witch Academia series. I'm going to get into some notable major spoilers for the series. So maybe skip ahead a few minutes. It's going to be brief. I'm going to talk about this just briefly. So just giving you a warning now, even though the series is many years old at this point. If it's something that you do want to remain spoiler-free on, skip ahead a few minutes. Okay. So, in Little Witch Academia, the big twist, that really isn't a twist because we know it pretty much from the beginning, is that Ursula, the teacher at the school, is Shiny Chariot, the witch that Akko, was inspired by. Right? And throughout the entire series, there's this entire, question of when is Akko going to find out? Not only does she deserve to know, but there's really no reason to continue to keep the secret for too long. It's something that really should be revealed. But they wait until the very end to reveal it. And the reveal is done well. And I believe I noted that when I first reacted to the series. Like, the reveal is done well, and it almost kind of feels worth it because of that. Almost. Because the thing is, it's still really annoying to sit through these episodes where this secret is, known by us as the viewers. And yet, there's always this guiding thing where it's like, Akko's like, oh, I wish I could meet Shiny Chariot and everything. It's like, she's right there. This entire time. And it's just like, it gets annoying. It gets hard to sit through. And there's multiple points in the series where, I was getting really fucking annoyed by this. Because it really should have already been revealed. It didn't make sense to keep it a secret all that time. And the thing is, again, especially because it wasn't a secret for us as viewers. And in this situation with Lucifer, spoilers for Little Witch Academia done now. With this situation with Lucifer, we not only know as viewers, Chloe knows. The Doctor knows. Detective Douche knows. They all know because Lucifer does not hide this. He's very loud and proud and talks all the time about being the devil. This isn't something that he, hides. So, why not prove it? You can easily prove it beyond a shadow of a doubt. You can make it so that no one could ever doubt you. But you don't. And here's the thing. He's close to Chloe at this point. At least with Chloe, you would think he would want to prove it. He cares greatly for her. That's undeniable. you would think he would want to just openly prove it. But he doesn't. Even at times where it would really help for him to do so. And it's something that's kind of annoying me. And I don't understand why he's choosing to just not prove it, especially in these cases when he's working with Amenadiel. And the thing is, there's sometimes where he does do something that should prove it, but it's just not enough, and it's not as direct. Like when he and Amenadiel just disappear. It's like, that should prove it, but the thing is, they always do it when someone's, like, looking away. So it comes across as more like a magic trick than anything. And it's just like, oh my god. If you did it while they were directly looking at you, that would be more impressive, and that would be more proving. But there's other ways that would be just more evidential anyway. Change your fucking face in front of them. We know you can do that shit. Again, with Amenadiel, bring out your fucking wings. It's just, there are ways to prove it, and they just don't, and it's just irritating. Because it's like, I don't like stuff that, when it's known to the audience, and even when it's, especially in this case, like, known to the characters technically as well, when they still try to, like, keep it like this hidden thing in the series. That annoys me. Because it's so unnecessary and feels like completely forced conflict. Like, that's all it does. It forces conflict and issues between the characters that could be resolved if you just opened up and had them be honest with each other. And proved what they were saying. So, yeah. Malcolm's death, again, was just always going to happen. Malcolm was, like, the main bad guy at this point. Him dying here was a guarantee. And Chloe being the one to shoot him, considering the Palmetto incident and everything, perfectly fitting. Not to mention, with her, you know, being a cop, she does, let's be honest, have a little bit of leeway to do that. The only thing, though, is Dan is still in custody. Is he going to be let out right away at the start of the second season? Or is that going to be like a little plot point, at least for a little bit there? Wondering about that. Obviously, don't answer me. I don't want spoilers, but... and then you have the aspect with just these relationships kind of like maneuvering around and going back and forth on how good or bad the relationships are. I'm wondering where this is going to lead to, because at least for now, it's very clear that Amenadiel is staying on Earth. He has a much better relationship with Lucifer. He's not going to try to kill him again. He's done trying to get him to go back. Based on the fact that Lucifer was talking to him in the end about, you know, getting the escapee, their mum, to get back to hell, it's like, I assume they're going to work on that together. I assume that's going to be a big thing for them both. Like, bonding and all. Continuing to. Meanwhile, Amenadiel and Maze seemingly are going to be back together, from what we can tell. She even used, like, the feather, Lucifer's feather that she had, this big, like, you know, holy artifact that was, like, planned to be used for something else. She used it for him instead, so that's definitely going to be coming back into play. Chloe and Lucifer are, like, let's be honest, kind of best friends. They're on really good terms. They're going to continue to be on really good terms. They're going to still argue and fight and everything, but yeah, they're going to continue to be on good terms. Don't know what's going on with the doctor at the moment. Like, she's annoyed, I guess you could say, by the unethical implications of everything that's been going on, especially finding out that the other doctor was not a doctor in any way, shape, or form. So, yeah, a lot of issues there. Excuse me. Curious as to where that's going to go now. Lots of big questions that this finale ends off with. And I'm very curious to see how things are handled once it picks back up. Is season 2 going to start right where season 1 left off? I kind of assume it has to, considering the entire mission that God gave to Lucifer. I'm still wondering if we're going to meet God at any point. I almost kind of feel like we have to, but at the same time, it's like, when would that happen? And how would that happen? Because in Supernatural, and I keep making the comparison because let's be honest, there's a comparison to be made. In Supernatural, God doesn't come in until quite late in the series, and he's not even like known to be God at first. So yeah, there's kind of a question on if it's going to be done similarly here or if he's going to come in a lot quicker. It could go either way, I feel. But I'm just really curious, honestly. Plus, I would really like to see at some point, like, I would like to see them actually show the fall of Lucifer. I want to see what he looked like in heaven. I want to see what his natural form is in hell. I want to see how all of this went down and all. Also, on top of that, there's other angels that we could introduce. A lot of other angels. Like, I mean, the obvious ones are like Gabriel and Michael. I'm very, very curious to see how they just go into that kind of stuff. And considering we're going into apparently their mom next season, we could go into some more angels and whatnot as well. So, excuse all the yawning. Sorry about that. So yeah, just a lot to think about. But like I said, we are going to be taking a break because this is one of those shows, 40-minute episodes, 45-minute episodes, just something I can't do a lot of constantly. So we need to take a short break because of that. But also, like I said, I'm scaling back the schedule that we're currently going through. And we're cutting down to one show on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And while it's not all being scaled back at the exact same time, this is the point where we're doing it for Thursdays. So yeah, we just have these reasons and whatnot to cut back and to get to this again later. This one will be a little heftier of a break than some other things. Just because this is also a show that not only because of the length of the episodes, but the content within, it's, I wouldn't say heavy, but it's a lot. It's something, it's like one of those shows that I could not, even if I wanted to, marathon. There are plenty of shows out there that if I really wanted to, I could like binge through, such as Sandland, just as an example of something else we're reacting to. I could absolutely binge through that in like maybe 2 sittings, just because of how damn good it is. I've said it in those reactions, really. It's honestly probably my favorite thing I'm reacting to right now. It's that good. But this, it's like, this is a good series. I'm really enjoying the series. But it's not something I could binge through. It's something that I feel like I need to take time on. And that includes time between seasons. It's something that I if I feel like if I binged through this, I wouldn't be appreciating it as much. It's something that I need to have patience with. And so I apologize, Venom. I know you would love to see me get to more a lot quicker. I apologize to anyone else who's enjoying this reaction series, but we are taking a notable break here. I don't know how long it's going to be, but it's going to be. And we will get back to it in the future. All I can say about it. But yeah, so nothing is replacing it because we're just going down to one slot for Thursdays. It's just going to be Kid Cosmic for now, and we'll go from there. But all of that being said, we do have a lot of other great content on the channel to pay attention to. Monday through Friday, we have a plethora of awesome series reactions to check out. On Monday, we also do YouTube reactions. Every Saturday and Sunday, we have movie reactions that are mainly just donation rewards, just like the YouTube ones, from viewers and subscribers like you. So thank you for every donation and every reward you choose. We are also currently on Tuesdays and Thursdays doing Spider-Man 2 on the PS5. Had some audio issues lately. I apologize for that. Trying to get those figured out the best I can. This is new to me. I have not done capture card Let's Plays before, so bear with me as I try to figure this out. But all of that being said, thank you as always so much for tuning in. And for now, I'm Connie and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.